Last year I decided to quit social media, and I literally deleted all the social media apps that I had. And when I did that the first time, I ended up going right back because of how sudden it was and how it made me feel like, I was missing out on everything. So I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna go back. And I did. I went back, and then I decided that I'm gonna do this process slowly. So I first came off Facebook because honestly, to me and in my opinion, I just feel like Facebook is one of the most toxic social media platform there is right now. And so I first came off that, and then that was going really well. Well, it's still going well because it's been almost a year and I haven't been back on Facebook. And then as we go down in the year, I came off of Instagram, I came off of Twitter, Snapchat, and all of that. And honestly, at times, actually for Instagram, I was off of it, but then I used to go back and check and come back off, go and check, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So I just removed it altogether. And honestly, it's one of the best decisions that I have made for myself in a long time. So after quitting social media, I realized that I have more time in the day to do a lot more things, to do things that really matter, to do things that, add value to my life and meant something. And, after doing that, actually, when I checked my screen time, and it shows you how many hours you spend on each of these apps on your phones and stuff like that. It's crazy because when you're on it, you're not really paying attention to all of this stuff, but when you're able to go back and check the records, you're like, there's no way I spend this amount of hours on social media in 24 hours. But it is true, and if you guys don't believe me, just go and check and be honest with yourself. Just go back and check your screen time and see how much hours you spend on each of the apps on your phone, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. But when I realized that, I was like, no, I really have to get this under control because that is not okay. I personally don't believe someone should be spending that much time on social media throughout the day, especially when it is not like your business, like your main source of income and stuff like that. I just don't believe that you should be doing that. There's a lot more that you could be doing throughout the day with your time. So after I did that, I realized that I stopped hearing from a few friends. I stopped hearing from a couple family members. And, at first I was like, this is kind of, weird, but then I've come to realize that it is okay. It is completely okay to lose people out of your life. It is completely okay to lose family members out your life, to lose friends out your life, because the truth is, when you have a certain goal for yourself and you have certain things that you're working towards, it is okay to remove the things that's not aligning with what you are trying to achieve. It's completely okay. And that, I feel like for a lot of us, that's what we use to hold ourselves back from achieving the things that we want, achieving our goals. We try to please everyone, and we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and stuff like that. But the truth is, you are not perfect, and you probably will never be perfect, and you cannot please everyone. If you try to please everyone, you're literally going to disappoint your own self. So by doing that, it's very draining. So at some point in your life, you're gonna have to remove certain things from your life, and just understand that it is completely fine to do so. Now, by just being on, social media in general, it can really create this toxic environment that you don't even realize that you're in, and create like this toxic mindset and toxic way of thinking and processing things. Because when I used to be on there, you compare like all these things. You compare like looks, you compare followers, you compare likes, you compare views, and the list goes on. And you don't realize that you're doing it, because some of these things, they just come so natural that you don't even realize that it's taking place. And some of these things, until you wake up, that's the only time you'll realize that you're feeding into a lot of negativity and negative energy. So I realized that I'm like, this is wrong. Like, this is not okay at all. There's no way you should be doing all this comparing and things, because the truth is, none of us have like the same paths in life. As much as we might see each other along the way going up, it's completely different. Everyone's life is different in every single way. And if you compare yourself to someone else, if they are doing something that is, let's say, up here and you are here, you will never get up here. And the reason why you'll never get up here is because that is their goal. That is not your goal. So no matter how much you push, you will never reach to their goal, because that is their goal, not yours. And a lot of us, we chase after other people's goal without even realizing it. And you will live your whole life feeling like a failure. No matter how much you achieve along the way, you will just never feel like you have done enough, because you haven't reached that level, or you haven't achieved this goal over here that you've been chasing, that is not yours. And it's very important that people slow down and focus on themselves and find out what your why is. Because if you don't know what your why is, then you're always going to be chasing someone else's why, and you're always going to come up short, because that's not your journey, that is not your path. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot pay attention to these comparing and like other people's dreams, other people's goal, other people's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? How other people go about their day. You cannot focus on that, because that is not you, that is not your path. So that's very important to pay attention to. After I removed all of those apps, now I'm having more time in the day. There's this huge amount of time that you now have, and for some people, they might reach into a position where they're like, I'm bored. And it's natural, because if you check it, most people, like in general, humans, we try to run away from silence as much as we can. We try to run away from our own minds. We try to run away from our own company. That is why we always want to be doing something. We always want to be watching something, listening to something, or we need to have someone around us, because of how much we try to escape our own selves. So some people might come up short and come up and they're like, they don't have anything to do. But here's what you need to do. Work on yourself, practice different self-improvement stuff, work on yourself, work on your mind, work on your body. You know what I'm saying? Work out, get in shape, work out your mind as well. Read, educate yourself, because the truth is, a lot of us, we just come up and we just take what is given to us, and that's it. We don't ask questions. We don't try to know why this is and what that. You know what I'm saying? We just listen to what other people have to tell us, and then we just take it and run with it, instead of finding out, like, does this actually make sense? Is this actually adding value to ourselves? Because what you have to understand is, if we all respect our parents, we all respect our elders and stuff like that, right? But that doesn't mean everything they say and everything that they do or they did is correct, or it makes sense. At the time it probably made sense to them, and they pass it on to their kids, and their kids pass it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like this whole domino effect. And then some people come up and they're like, why is it that my family is like this? Why is it that every generation coming down continues to make the same mistake? You hear people saying like they're the first to graduate from college out of their family and all that type of stuff. And sometimes you think about it and you're like, why is that? But you have to put a stop to certain things. And the only way you're gonna be able to do that is by asking questions, reflecting. Because when you go through certain experiences, if you don't reflect on them, it's hard for you to gain any form of wisdom. So you need to reflect on your experiences through life to gain wisdom. And that is what will help you to realize the wrongs and the mistakes that took place in the past, and how you can better yourself and help other people to better themselves going forward. So someone, have to step up and be like, this cannot be all. And the truth is, most of the stuff we feel like we know the things that's right. But if you go back and you look on certain things that happened in the past compared to now, you will realize we sit and we look on like things that took place in the past, like generations before us, and we're like, how couldn't they figure this out? Like, how couldn't they, know that was wrong? Or, you know what I'm saying? How could these people be thinking that this made sense? And that's exactly what's gonna happen to people of the future, looking back on us today and seeing all the dumb shit that we did, the dumb stuff that we believe in and that we are doing right now, thinking that it makes sense. Because the truth is, we're always learning and things is always changing, and what you might know to be true now might not be true going forward. Just like with science, you have people who start like a specific experiment, and then a next scientist continues it, and it just continues because you are figuring stuff out. You are learning about stuff as you go along. So we really don't know everything, and that's why it is okay to learn, unlearn, and relearn stuff. So don't limit yourself to everything that is given to you right now, because some things might be right and some things might be wrong. It's up to you to figure out what all these information that you are receiving, what you want to take from it, and how you implement those stuff in your life. Now, I just want you guys to know that life outside this social media world is way more beautiful than you might think it is. And the only way you will be able to find your true self is outside of this social media world. You cannot find your true self by living in this social media world that is filled with a lot of negativity and negative energy. And until you wake up and realize what's taking place, that's the only way you will be able to reach your full potential, reach that greatness that is within you.